Welcome to another episode of Aslan Speaks. And today I want to talk about feeling lost. Are you feeling lost in life? And I want to make this a positive video, to uplift you and encourage you, whoever's watching this, that it's okay to feel that way. We all are human beings, and we have things that happen to us in our life. We have people that come into our life, or certain situations that happen to us in our life that causes us to feel lost or depressed or feel anxiety. And one of the reason why some of us, when we feel lost and we don't know what path to take in life, is because something inside you, your inner knowing, your intuition, is basically screaming at you, "Hey, something in your life is not making you happy." Maybe the career that you picked is not making you happy. Maybe the relationship that you're in is not making you happy or feel fulfilled. Maybe you're not pursuing your dreams and goals. Maybe when you were younger, or at one point in time in your life, you were very ambitious, and had all these dreams and goals, and you look back and all those dreams and goals are sitting there collecting dust. So often when we feel lost, especially in life, it's our intuition, our inner knowing, trying to tell us, "Hey, there's something wrong, something's off." And it's okay to feel lost, it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel depressed, but it's not okay if you allow that to ruin your life. It's not okay if you're sitting on a couch day after day and being sad. But I've been there, guys. It's not easy, this life, because this world's tough. It's very tough. And one of the things I recommend, if you're feeling lost, is to find God or find some form of spirituality. I grew up in a Christian faith, but I'm more of a spiritual person, and I incorporated spiritual practices to help me be a better person, to help me find my path. One of the things to help you find your way, to help you not feel lost, is learning to tap into your inner knowing. And if you want to know about that, your inner knowing is your intuition. Like, you got that voice inside you that speaks to you. And a lot of us who don't work on ourselves or develop our spiritual gifts ignore that voice within. And that is one of the causes why you feel lost, because we're all like spiritual beings. We're all divine. And when you tap into the divineness that's within you, or tap into your inner knowing, then you can start being guided to basically find the right path for you. Because a lot of us, the reason we're lost is because we're on a path in life that we're particularly shouldn't be on. Something inside you, your soul basically is screaming, "Hey, the path you're on is not right." But the coolest thing is you could choose a different path at any moment of the time. If you're in a partnership with somebody for, maybe let's say it's been a year or two, and you don't feel fulfilled or happy, maybe it's time to walk away from that, and just find yourself. And then once you find yourself, you can find a good, loving partner that can complete you, make you happy, and feel fulfilled. Maybe you're in a career position where you've been there at this job for 2, 3, 4 years, and there's no growth. And every day you wake up and you're just dreading going to work. Or maybe there's as I talk about careers, maybe there's a job that you chose to do and it just doesn't align with you. It doesn't make you happy. But you can always choose a different job. You're one choice and one decision away from making lasting change in your life. I'm going to repeat that. You're one choice and one decision away from making a lasting change in your life. A lot of us, sometimes we're lost because the people that we hang around with are lost. So we feel lost because you just go out to certain people and you think that they may have the answers, and really they don't. So it's up to you. Do you want to change your life? Are you tired of feeling lost? So one of the best things for me, like when I feel lost, I turn to my faith. I turn to meditating. I turn to looking within myself. When you feel lost, sit down with yourself and say, why do I feel lost? Why am I unhappy in my life? Because a lot of us, the reason we feel lost is because we're unhappy. That's the sad truth, guys. If you really reflect on yourself, you're unhappy because you don't feel lost when you're happy. You don't feel lost when you're content with your life. You start to feel lost, or you start to feel sad or depressed or unfulfilled because there's something inside you that's not complete. And then you feeling lost is the way of your soul or your intuition speaking, hey, you need to make change here. A lot of us, we ignore our feelings. We ignore our emotions. We suppress our emotions because we don't want to feel, because some of those, let's face it, some of those emotions are very painful. We don't want to look at them. We don't want to deal with them. But one of the best ways to stop feeling lost in life or feeling stuck is to begin the inner healing on yourself. The journey within. And if you're trying to find God, as a spiritual person, God's not up in the clouds somewhere. He's not up in the clouds or the sky somewhere. He's within you. You will all have divine aspects within you. You're a powerful spiritual being. And when you learn to tap into that divineness that's within yourself, you begin to be guided to what is right for you. What is righteousness? Like a lot of us are spiritual or Christian or trying to find some type of faith, and we're trying to be righteous. And what righteousness is, right action. And often we feel lost because we're not making the right action or the right decision. Some of us go down a path that is toxic for us, or we do things that stunt our growth, keeps us from being our best versions of ourselves. And then you start feeling lost, start feeling sad, you start feeling depressed and unhappy with yourself because you're not growing. And if you want to grow, if you want to become the best version of yourself, you got to start watering yourself. Some of us, we give and give to others, and then our own pitchers of water are empty and we're depleted. So you got to take a pause, take a step back in your life and reflect and reanalyze, why am I feeling lost? If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed, why am I feeling sad and depressed? Is it because some of the decisions you made in life caused hurt and pain in your life? I don't hold all the answers, guys. So don't, take my word for it. I'm not a guru. I'm not a master. I'm just an average human being who's been through hurt, who has been emotionally wounded, who's had a broken heart. I've been on that path of feeling lost in life. And the best way to get out of that path, to find that path, that your true destiny or your true fate is to listen to your inner knowing and not ignore it. Some of us are put in situations in our life, maybe to gain money or to make other people happy. And sometimes you got to take a pause back and make yourself happy. You got to do the inner work. Find what makes you happy. If you like gardening and growing flowers, then do that. If you like animals and you like taking care of animals, and then do that. What makes me happy is if I could help somebody, even if it's one person at a time, to give them the knowledge and wisdom or the insight to change their lives. Today you could change your life. You don't have to feel lost, but it's not the next day it's going to be over with. It's a journey. It's life's journey. But you have to look within and be like, why am I feeling lost? So I'm gonna ask you that, guys. Why do you feel lost? What's inside you? What is your inner voice telling you? It's crucial to listen to your inner voice, my friends. That intuition, that inner knowing. Because it'll guide you. Some of the best decisions that I ever made in my life, or when I had the best outcomes in my life, is because I chose to listen to my inner knowing. And sometimes, like, we feel lost because we're in an environment that we're not unhappy with. Maybe our living situation, we're unhappy with that, our living situation. And it's all one choice and one decision away from changing your life. You could choose today to be like, hey, I choose to cut out all the toxic people that make me feel unhappy, or all the people who pressure me to be a certain way in life. You have to find what makes you tick as a human being. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you depressed? Choose positivity. You know, one of the best things I did is start surrounding myself with loving people that genuinely care about you, who won't encourage you to cause you more pain and hurt, or hey, let's take down this path of toxicity and negativity and depression and anxiety and let's all feel lost. No, it's time to change and choose a different path. So if you're feeling lost, look within and do inner reflection. Begin to heal those inner wounds. Shine a light on them. And then say today, I'm not going to let my inner demons defeat me. I'm not going to let my inner demons defeat me. I'm not going to let my sadness defeat me. And then choose differently. Say today, I'm going to make a step to make lasting change. And one of the most important things you guys could do if you're feeling lost in life is surround yourself with good, loving people. Maybe surround yourself with family. Reach out to your mom or dad or your brother or sister and be like, hey, I'm unhappy, I feel lost, and I don't know how to get out of this rut that I'm in, and I need your help. I beg and plead for you to help me. Maybe you made mistakes in the past. Maybe the reason you feel lost is because you hurt other people and you feel guilty for hurting other people. And that guilt weighs on you. Or maybe you've done something in the past that you feel shameful for. And that shame is like a ton of bricks that's pulling you down in life. You got to deal with those emotional wounds. Seriously, it's one of the hardest things, and then you wake up and saying, today I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight for my happiness. I'm going to fight for my life. I'm going to start thinking positive thoughts. Let me repeat that. I'm going to start thinking positive thoughts. When you have that shameful thought or that guilty thought or that thought of being sad, guys, you got to recognize it. That those triggering moments. When you have a triggering thought, maybe you think of a person and it triggers you. Maybe you're sitting at home, in your house, and you broke up with someone, and you just being in an empty house, it triggers you because it makes you sad and depressed because you no longer have your life partner or your companion in your life. Well, realize that you're being triggered. You're having that triggering thought that your buttons are being pushed, and then say, hey, I realize. Because sometimes we get triggered and then we let that mental tape play over and over and we get lost in it. And then we give into the more sadness and the depressed thoughts. And we start thinking about that self-doubt in our minds and all that hurt and pain. And then we just we feed on it. And then it makes us dive deeper and deeper and deeper into the darkness. But guys, you can pull yourself out of that funk that you're in. You can pull yourself out of that darkness. And one of the key things is when you get triggered or that negative thought, catch it and say to yourself, hey, I'm being triggered right now. I'm having a negative thought or a negative memory. I'm going to choose to replace it. Maybe you have a thought where when you broke up with somebody that you're not loved, that they didn't love you or they didn't truly care about you. Well, then when that negative thought enters your mind, replace it and say, hey, you know what? I love myself. I'm going to do loving things to make myself happy. I'm going to choose to surround myself with loving people and people who genuinely care about you. Because in this world, let's face it, there's people who do not genuinely care about you. You know, they're trying to either use you or manipulate you. Maybe you have a lot of wealth. They're with you because you got money. Or maybe you have a house and they don't have a house, so they're trying to live off of you. You got to reflect and allow, be mindful of the circle you keep in your life. If, like in the Bible, Jesus talks about planting seeds. And if you plant your seed, like you are a seed, you are a plant. And if you plant yourself in rocky and sandy soil, meaning plant yourself, your being in a toxic environment around toxic people, you don't grow. If anything, you de-evolve. You know, you're planting yourself in poisonous soil. But today you could choose, like, hey, I'm going to plant myself or plant my being in good soil, healthy soil. I'm going to go to environments and places that are positive and uplifting. Maybe find a church. Maybe find a local support group. Go talk to a therapist. Learn, and then like when you start having those thoughts of maybe I'm lost, I'm broken, I'm damaged, you got to get out of your mind. It's like, hey, maybe I am broken, or I feel sad, I feel hurt or emotionally wounded, but I'm going to change my life. I'm going to heal those parts of myself so I can become whole and complete. So if you're feeling lost, meditate. Start monitoring your thoughts. Replace your negative thoughts or emotions with positive ones. Maybe there's somebody in your life or past life that makes you really happy and really uplifts you when you think about them. And then replace that so if you go into that negative space in your mind, replace that and think about that person who made you really happy. And then you attract to you what you are. So if you're in a place of I'm emotionally broken, I feel lost, I'm sad, I'm depressed, and when you're feeling lost, sad, and depressed, you start sometimes some of us turn to substances to numb our pain. We binge watch TV for hours upon hours to not deal with our emotional baggage. We have to heal ourselves. Some of us feel lost in life because maybe you had someone in your life and you thought that you were going to spend the rest of your life with them, or they made you think that, and then bam, they chose their selfishness, or chose to put themselves first before before the relationship. Guys, it's up to you. Meditate, monitor your thoughts, monitor or be aware of what you watch. Like if you're on your phone and there's toxic people reaching out to you, then delete your phone. Delete that messenger app if you're trying to stay away from addictive people or people who pull you down the wrong path, who make you feel lost, who cause hurt and sadness within you, because when you're with them, you end up doing things that you're not proud of or makes you happy. Then don't hang around those people no more. That's one of the biggest things, guys, because a lot of us, we surround ourselves with, let's face it, toxic people or toxic environments. And then we wake up in the morning like, I'm mad at myself. I feel sad, I feel depressed, I feel lost. So if you're feeling lost, sorry guys, this is, I'm letting my higher self speak to you guys. So whatever comes to my head or my intuition, I'm letting it speak through me to you. And hopefully it resonates. You're one thought and one decision away from changing your life. And it's not easy to change your life. It's not easy cutting out people that you've known for years upon years. It's not easy finding a new place to live, or finding new people to surround yourself that uplift you and encourage you. And if you're feeling lost, don't be afraid to ask for help. Go knock on that friend's door that you know that it'll be there for you. And say, hey, I'm lost. But the biggest thing I want to say, message, is start doing the inner healing. You begin to heal yourself. And when you start thinking positive thoughts, when you no longer allow depression or anxiety or your inner fear or your inner doubt control your life, and you start controlling your life. Don't let your inner turmoil keep you from the achieving the greatest version of yourself. Guys, you are so powerful. And one of the coolest things is start choosing loving thoughts. Start do unto others as you want them to do unto you. Maybe like you might have to relocate. Maybe the environment you're in or the city you're in, it's toxic. Maybe it's time to move. Maybe it's time to, choose a different path in your life. And it's not easy. If you're in a relationship that you've been unhappy with for years, it's hard to walk away from that. Or it's hard because in this modern society, we struggle with supporting ourselves. So we stay with a certain person because, let's face it, it's easier to be with someone who pays half the bills. But why be with somebody if you're unhappy? I went through this where I'm trying to, build I've been through relationships with people where at first I was happy, but then something was, they weren't fulfilling their end of the bargain. And I'd rather wake up alone and being alone in my life and work on myself than have to struggle every day to fight for a relationship or a romantic connection or a friendship that no longer serves me. And yes, that's the way I'm being selfish, but sometimes you have to put yourself first, because if you allow, like I said before, if you keep watering somebody else over and over and they don't pull out their pitcher to water you, then what's the point? So if you're feeling lost, I say this: find God. Find a spiritual practice. Start the inner healing. Surround yourself with loving people. Surround yourself with people that uplift you. You don't want to surround yourself with people who take from you, or people that encourage you to do things that doesn't necessarily make you happy. And also, some of us feel lost because maybe we lost someone. Maybe someone passed away. Or maybe we lost that friend or that romantic partner in our life, and we don't know how to get them back. Well, then if someone passes away, you got to deal with that grief. It's life. I don't have the answers for that. But I do have the answers. If you lost a friend or a romantic partner, you can always reach out to them in a positive, loving way. And reflect and realize, because sometimes when we lose a friend or we push away a friend in our life, it's because something we did or our actions, pushed them away or drove them away. And we got to inner reflect and be like, what did I do? What actions did I take? Sometimes it's the biggest thing is for me, I'm not going to make someone a priority in my life and help them heal and grow if they're not helping me heal and grow. Because we all need help in life. I'm not going to put my time and energy into somebody if they keep if they, you can't help someone if they don't want to help themselves. That's one of the biggest things. A lot of us, we try to help, but if they're lost, they're lost. Sometimes you gotta let them find their own way. But I want to get back to the topic of, if you lost a good friend or a good romantic partner, it's never too late to make a new decision a new choice. Maybe go knock on that person's door and say, hey, I am extremely, extremely, extremely sorry. And I want you back in my life. You were a positive force in my life. I was doing good when you were in my life. And then choose not to do the things that drove your person or your friend or your romantic partner away. And maybe some people will forgive you and some people won't. And you have to be okay with that. Some of us also feel lost because we haven't been listening to our soul. When you tap into the divine, you plug back into God or source or the universe or conscience, whatever that is for you. When you start living by that, magical things happen to you in your life. You'll get instant knowing, hey, I need to go talk to this person, or hey, I need to move to this location. When you start tapping into your inner knowing and starting a spiritual practice, you'll be guided through synchronicities to what path is meant for you. So my friends, I'm going to end this because I don't want to ramble on. You're one choice and one decision away from making lasting change. If you feel lost, it's okay. If you feel sad, it's okay. If you feel depressed or have inner wounds that trigger you and you don't want to deal with them, it's okay. We're all human. And for all those who need love or help in their life, hey, through this video, I send you my love. I send you light. Choose positivity. Wake up and say, today I'm not going to be defeated. And then you wake up the next day and be like, I'm not going to be defeated. I'm going to master my life. I'm going to choose the path of righteousness, meaning I'm going to choose to make right decisions, right actions. I want to make decisions that better my life. Maybe pick a career that betters your life. Pick a person or partner in your life that betters your life. Surround yourself with somebody, like if you're looking for a life partner, find someone who uplifts you every day, who makes you smile every day, who has that calming effect on you that even when you're going through extreme intense panic attacks or anxiety, that just being around that one person just calms you and makes your soul feel at home and complete. And then learn to forgive yourself. That's one of the hardest things, is to look within and be like, hey, I have all these wounds, but you know what? It's okay. I forgive myself. I'm going to heal myself. And I'm going to choose a new path in life. I'm not going to wake up feeling lost anymore, because I'm going to choose to take a path. And you could choose that path and try that path, that new path in your life. And maybe it's a couple months down the road it doesn't work out, but at least you're doing something. Take the action. Take the action, meaning get off your butt and get it done. I love you guys. I wish this was helpful. I really do. Like, share, and subscribe. And God bless you all. And I don't hold all the answers, but I just wish you the best in the journey. Change your thinking, change your life. Change your thinking, change your life. Choose positivity, positive growth. Plant your being in positive soil. And then if you are feeling lost in life, maybe reflect and say, hey, I haven't been growing in life. I haven't been growing spiritually, or I haven't had abundance. Maybe I've had a lack in my life. It's because the certain decisions and people that you hung out with, you planted yourself in poisonous soil. And it's time to reflect. Maybe it's time to uproot yourself from that particular path that was poisonous or wasn't helping you grow or become the best version of yourself, and replant yourself in a place where you become that mighty tree. You become invincible. You become positive. You become wealthy. You become successful. It's all where you decide to plant your beingness. Do you plant yourself in negativity or things that poison your soil? Or do you plant yourself in a soil that helps you grow and enrich your life. You choose your path. If you're feeling lost, it's because the path that you are on is probably not the right one for you. Let me repeat that. If you're feeling lost, it's probably because the path that you're on is not the right one for you. Your inner knowing, your soul is screaming at you, saying, hey, it's time to wake up and choose differently. Choose a different path. I love you, my friends.